Hey there, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to reboot the Best Buys series. And what that means is I'm going to go through everything in the MLS and find the best values in several different price points and in several different categories. Let's get after it. So here in this spreadsheet, I'm going to walk through each of these. Now, there are not going to be pictures in this particular video. I will have that set up for the next one, but I'm going to include links to all these properties in the description down below so that you can check these out for yourself. Now, how we do this is we break it down to anything under 750,000, which when I started this series was the average price point. Now it is about 150,000 below the average price point here in Ocean City. Then we have between 750 and $1.5 million, and everything north of $1.5 million. And as far as categories, you see them on the left there in the peach color. We're going to take it one by one. So with the best investment, I look at every property that comes on the market. And if it has available rental history, I will run the numbers, look for a return on your investment, assuming a cash purchase. And this unit here in Ocean 7, which if you've been following me for a little bit, you know, Ocean 7 is the best return on your investment opportunity here on the island. This particular unit will get you 7% return on investment, assuming you paid full price, which is currently $219,000. It's a great hands-off unit, right? The fees are steep, the management fees are steep, but all in all, this brings in about $33,000 a year, and you are left with about $14,000 at the end of the day. And I'm going to show you that spreadsheet here in a minute, but I want to talk through one other thing first. So looking at these other condo hotel type units, which tend to be the best investment. Again, there's the first time we had a lot of units come into the complex called Wild Dunes. It's on 10th Street. I think there's 3 or 4 available currently. And when I started doing this series, there were none. So I didn't get a chance to look at that one. And I want to show you a quick side-by-side here. And hopefully I click on the right tab if it would get out of the way. There we go. So this is the spreadsheet that I use to look at everything. So assuming a cash purchase here, we have our Wild Dunes unit here in column C, Ocean 7 in column B. You can see here that from a total income standpoint, you're about $4K higher in Ocean 7 compared to Wild Dunes. That is despite the Ocean 7 unit being in efficiency, Wild Dunes being a 1-bedroom, and Ocean 7 being closed from October through April and Wild Dunes being open. And there were rentals throughout the off season, which is why I have it here in the winter income section. Now, you're going to notice a big difference here in asking price. And that is going to be one component, obviously, of why Ocean 7 is a better investment than what we have at the Wild Dunes. Similar taxes, condo fees here are higher, and that's because a lot of extra utilities and cleaning is kind of all roped into that. What you're going to notice here is rental management actually ends up being similar. Now, that does not include the cleaning fees. Cleaning fees are wrapped into here. You still would have the electric bill. Everything else is covered. But when you take into consideration the fact that Ocean 7 has more income, the substantially lower asking price, and the lower expenses, you end up with, again, nearly a 7% return on your investment compared to a measly 2.3. So wanted to get that out of the way. I do have that spreadsheet. If you want to look at it closer, just shoot me a message. I'd be happy to send it to you. Best duplex. So there's a 3-bedroom unit on Pelham Place. That's down by Wonderland, about a half a block off of that. It's a first floor, great unit, sold furnished. And it's by far the best value out there from a 3-bedroom standpoint, outside of this one that we have here at under 500,000. But I would highly recommend checking that out. If you like that part of town, it's very secluded. It's a tree-lined street. It's very unique down there. It is an older building, comes with 1 parking spot, but I think it's going to be a great buy for somebody. It's just a matter of if it's your flavor. Definitely look at that one. Now, for single families, we're not going to see a whole lot in this category under 750K going forward. And unfortunately, all 3 that are out there right now are just bad values. Similar to the water and beachfront, these are going to be in condo complexes like 500 Bay Avenue, typically 1 to 2 bedrooms. And the prices that they're asking for these, in my personal opinion, again, all this is my personal opinion. If you value that, I can't recommend anything there in good conscience. So as you can see here, I'm not always going to just plug in a property to say, hey, I need to fill this category. If there's not a good value that I can say with confidence, I would recommend to somebody, it's simply not going to be here. Now, the best one under 500K, I had a hard time with this one. Really, the unit in Ocean 7 was the best for both, but I do think that this may be worth considering for somebody who may be looking for a home away from home, don't mind being away from the beach, or even a year-round residence. This is not a bad spot for that. 3 bedrooms, again, 425K. You're not going to find anything comparable to that. And I do have this miscellaneous category because as inventory grows, like it was once in the past, there are sometimes 2 properties that would have to compete in the category, but I feel good about both of them. So I want to have an overflow there for what that looks like. Now for the next bucket here, this one is fully fleshed out. The best investment, hands down, is 841 Central Avenue. It's the cheapest 4-bed, 2-bath on the market currently. Brought in $55,000 in rental income in 2022. And if you're familiar with what rental income tends to be in different parts of town, 3-bedroom versus 4, that 4-bedroom amount actually is a little bit light, if you ask me. But that said, the fact that they're asking, I believe it's $825,000. That is the best one, hands down. Now, again, if you're new to this scene, if you're new to these videos, best investment, I tend to look for cash on cash returns. If you were to buy in cash, what is your actual profit going to be after everything is taken into consideration? In this category, and really once we get above about 500K, it's really difficult to find anything that is cash flow positive substantially. And again, not only do I look at the lens from cash on cash returns, but in this category, the odds of people paying in cash and also using it as an investment versus personal use is slim to none. So even though I look at it from a cash on cash standpoint, I tend to also be a realist and say, hey, if somebody were buying this with 20% down at the current interest rates, how much are they in the hole? How much are they in the red each year? And again, in Ocean City, odds are, unless you're buying in cash, you are not going to be making money each year, especially not the first few. So this becomes an exercise in subsidizing the cost of your purchase here in town. And this particular property, with the asking price combined with the rental income, is hands down the best one. But again, I want to be clear, this tends to not be where the moneymakers are. They tend to be in the sub $500,000 range if you're looking for strict cash flow, not appreciation. Totally different conversation there. Best duplex, 904 St. Charles. I haven't actually been in this one myself. I want to make it a point to get there, just have been too busy to get there. This is a great location. The fact that they're asking just over $1 million for a 4-bed, 2-bath on the actual beach block, not the 800 block where people call it the beach block. It's not. This is literally steps from the beach. Great location, certainly needs to be updated inside, but that was a no-brainer. This was the easiest one to plug in this whole analysis. The second easiest one is the best single-family home. So I did go through this one, 9 West 15th Street, and it's a great lot. It's a great neighborhood, but you'll notice here, due to the smell and dated features. So I walked in there and it felt like I got punched in the nose with a combination of cigarette smell as well as pet feces, right? Just to rip the Band-Aid off there. It was clear that this was an older owner, and simply put, the place reeks. So it would need a total remodel, not only to bring it up to modern times, but to get rid of those smells as well. Now, they've taken that into consideration with the pricing. I know it's a scary project to think about, but for just over $1.1 million, I believe it's $1,185,000 that they're asking right now, you're not going to find any single family better than that, let alone an opportunity to make it totally new for under $1.5 million, and have a stunning custom-built home with solar panels, if that's your thing. Now, for the best waterfront property, I'm a little bit biased here, but 6 West A Street, my own personal listing. Again, I want to be clear about that. There's just nothing that's going to compare to the space that you can get there being on the water. Now, obviously, it's been out there for a couple of months. We've dropped the price once, but if you are looking to get on the water and single family is not an option because you need at least $2 million for the most part to consider that, this is simply addition by subtraction. It is the only choice. Now, miscellaneous number 1, again, this property at 201 Wesley Ave, not the best single family home, but it's an opportunity to either have a single family with an apartment above the garage. So whether you Airbnb one, you stay in one, Airbnb both, you got a lot of options here. But honestly, at the price they're asking, $999 million, you're basically buying the land. But you also, it's not a total teardown, right? You could live in it. You could still use it for quite some time before going that road if you even decide to. So that's a heck of an opportunity that I wanted to bring to your attention. Now, the most fun one you'll see is half empty here, over $1.5 million. This is where normally there's some really cool options to talk through. Unfortunately, most of those options are simply way overpriced compared to either one of these direct competitors or in general, in my opinion, right? Inventory is climbing for a reason, not shrinking. Interest rates are making this really hard for a whole lot of things to make sense for most buyers. Now, the best single family at 819 St. James Place. This is a unique opportunity. I believe it's still a little bit overpriced right now. They have dropped the price a few times. But for this location and actually to get a single family home that brought in $90,000 in rental income is a rare opportunity to find. I still think $1.5 million, $1.5 million, $1.6 million would be probably the right number for this. But ultimately, right, as interest rates go up, maybe that right number continues to come down. And does this seller sell? That's the question on everybody's mind. And that's really going to be what drives the market over the next several months, maybe many months. But that's one that's worth checking out if you're in the single family market. And for the best water or beachfront property, this one to me is a no-brainer, right? There are multiple beachfronts. One of them, 2105 Wesley, just went under contract. That was listed at about 4.2. This one here is totally new construction, priced similarly to older, similar builds that, in my opinion, are worse locations. This is an easy one. Now, again, if it were that easy, if everybody felt great about the value, it would be gone. So it is still likely a little bit too high. Otherwise, the market would have gobbled it up. But for what is out there, if you're looking for the beachfront, you want a townhouse side by side instead of the traditional top-bottom duplex, this is a heck of an option. So that is it for today. If you found this helpful, do me a favor and hit like down below. And if you don't already, make sure you hit subscribe because I'm going to continue cooking up creative new ways to bring you value here in the Ocean City market. So thanks for hanging out with me as always, and I will see you on the next one.